I wound up hitting my dad up. Now here's a man who I done vilified on a grand scale. I put all this shit in the street and used him, juiced my dad as like, this is the reason I'm fucking foul out here. You know, I'm come from this wayward upbringing, and you know, my dad is the reason I'm such a fuck up. You know, he's a biker and a wild man and a criminal and a da-da-da and abusive and I wrote this narrative, which was just fucking nonsense. My dad was so loving to me my whole life. Fractured, sure. Crooked, sure. Like wonky for sure, but never was not loving. Never was not there. He was always there. He was always there. And I done a world press tour about how fucked he was as a man. Because it didn't position me as like this wounded, fractured child that you could root for, which is what I was using him for. And so when I got on the phone with him, I took accountability for all that and knew very clearly that I couldn't take it back. You know, my dad was gonna live with this certain narrative about him on a public scale for a very long time, you know, probably the rest of his life. And I done put all this shit in the street, you know. I told him, you know, what I was doing, and it went just like, you know, hey man, I'm in this program, I'm learning to be a decent man one day at a time. I know I done fucked you over here, you know, I done put your shit in the street, and I know I made it harder for you to move around in the world, and I defined you as like this villainous character when really you were like an amazing dude for me in my life. And like, you know, I really look up to you and the way that you've moved through your failings and the father that you've been to me. You've been a great man to me. And if there's ever anything I can do, be it blood, counsel, money, whatever, if there's ever anything I can do to make your life better in any way, please don't hesitate to let me know.